Welcome to the Games Revealed podcast. Join our revolving group of guests as we explore the world of video games, hardware, and general nerdiness. From the Steam Deck to playing your favorite games in the haunted woods, we cover fun and entertaining topics that any gentle gamer can enjoy. Welcome to the Games Revealed podcast. I'm James and also the Brink.
And I'm Suzie.
And we are one. Because we are married to each other and can never leave each other by oath. No.
Clearly, where you're from, you've never heard of divorce.
That's a whole
good thing for you.
Topic. Yeah. Oh my gosh. What? No, I'm forever
kidding.
captured like bound ghost to an object. I just got done playing Phasmophobia, so don't mind me. I might be doing ghost puns or something like that because that game is fun and scary and silly. So, yeah, speaking of, that is what I've been playing lately. That and Demonologist and Demonologist is also pretty creepy and scary and whatnot. So, what have you been playing?
I really haven't been playing much lately. Kind of played around with Raft for a minute. That was okay.
Raft's pretty fun. Raft is a fishing game. If you like fishing, you like Raft.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, like it's Minecraft on a raft, you know.
Yeah. No, it's it's Minecraft.
I mean, it's not a one for one, but
it's not Minecraft on a raft. It's just like a builder game on a raft. It's like the forest, but instead of the forest, it's the water. So good stuff.
There's an equivalent.
Sure. It's an interesting game. I like it, but yeah, it definitely like gets weirdly almost want to play it while I watch something, honestly.
Yeah.
That's almost a game like it's co-op and it's fun. It seems a lot more fun co-op, and then I get realizing, you know what? I'd rather be just doing these chores while watching something.
Right? Yeah, I get that.
Like maybe some horror movies. We're going to be doing a horror movie challenge in the community. So if you're part of the Discord, go there and you figure that out because we're going to be doing some challenges with some giveaways. But yeah, so
also some Back 4 Blood.
Oh yeah, Back 4 Blood's so good. We play a lot of 4-player co-op kind of style games.
Yeah.
Oftentimes just the two of us, but like Borderlands, all of those types of games we usually end up eventually playing. We're going to beat Tiny Tina's
Wonderland sometime soon.
Someday. We always get into it, we play it for a few hours, and then we get busy with other stuff, and then other people want to play stuff, and we play that. Like Back 4 Blood, zombie shooter, love it. Suzie likes it because she can tag along and help me survive, keep me alive. That's the only reason you're there, right? Is to make sure I don't die.
I'm just your little support munchkin.
So, yeah, it's definitely... What else? Oh, yeah, Armored Core came out today as we're recording this.
Oh, yeah.
That game is fun. It's robots. I know some people don't like it. I mean, I was a little indifferent to it. I've liked the Armored Cores in the past, but it was... I saw the last few trailers and I'm like, you know what? Maybe this is something I want to get. And I got it. I've been playing it on the Steam Deck. And it has been pretty awesome. It works great.
You'll have to show me because I haven't really seen a whole lot about it.
We'll see if it's your type of game. I've never seen you play a mech game. So it's like, it's mechs. It's robots.
Right.
They're not in disguise. They're killer robots that that are mechs that you control and destroy and wreak havoc on this world of resource rich of rare stuff. So yeah, it's
very descript.
Very descript.
We'll sign you up to write the next dictionary.
I could do a good job of that. I mean, I'd be very opinionated, of course. A lot of just, I don't know, stuff that I'd remove things probably more than add. But that's besides the point though. Armored Core 6 is out. I've been playing tons of that. Starfield is coming out soon. We can maybe talk about that later, as this episode today is going to be about surprising Suzie with some news stuff. I kind of want to get
I work on my surprise face?
Surprise Pikachu face. So we're gonna be we're do a little bit of newsy stuff in this one, a little bit of current events, and we're gonna talk about some things that are interesting that's going on right now, and some of it I just really want to hear your takes on, and then I'll give my takes, and we'll just talk about it. We're gonna have some good old fun with this, and
I'm
hopefully,
excited.
who's ever editing this will put like overlays of what we're talking about. And if you're not watching this, you're listening to this, that's fine. We'll try to be as descriptive as possible.
Practicing for rewriting the dictionary.
I like using weird descriptors on stuff, if you haven't noticed. So I don't know if that's going to be a good thing or not.
Probably not.
So I think we've kind of got the intro out. I think we're doing good, enjoying good food lately. And so now it's time to enjoy some good news, interesting news, weird news, a lot of controversy in some of these topics we're going to talk about. So I'm excited to see what your takes are on them. Okay, so first up, round one, fight. The Legion handheld. It is it's this thing right here. So first thought, what is it? First thought that comes to your mind when you see this thing right here? If you
so for me, it definitely feels like it's trying to mimic the Nintendo Switch.
Yes.
Because it has removable Joy-Cons, or
whatever it is here. It's like
whatever
it's
they're called
Joy-Con-esque.
Yes. With the detachable screen.
Round oblique. It's got edges for days.
Yeah, it is very angular.
It's edgy.
It's
like it's like a teenage emo kid. This is edgy as can be.
It's also like the control pads are really interesting to me because there's parts of it that remind me a little bit of like the Steam Deck.
Yep.
There's other parts of it that kind of make me think of like maybe Nintendo 64 or Sega Genesis type controllers. Like it feels like it's just this mishmash of things in one thing.
So yeah, it's definitely the Linux of like handhelds. It's got it's visually not the most pleasing thing. The ROG Ally, and arguably the Steam Deck is much better looking. Yeah. I think a lot of people do like the way the Steam Deck looks. I think the Steam Deck is good for what it is, but it definitely doesn't have the finesse that I think some other handhelds could. Or actually, the Aya Neos look really good. But anyway, the Legion is definitely a device that we'll see if I pick it up. It's going to have the same specs.
Who's making it?
It's Lenovo. Okay. So they make other laptops. They're typically business oriented. I thought some other like MSI or maybe some other companies would have gotten
that's Lenovo, here and there. But
I guess honestly, it's on brand for their brand. Okay. It's a little bit more businessy, like plain looking. Oftentimes, a little bit slick sometimes, but I would not say this is sleek. Like this is
it's. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Can you scroll down just a little bit? Yeah. Yeah, it has a very sort of corporate feel to it.
It's the corporate handheld. It's approved by corporate.
It's like it's like the dude that, business by day,
pleasure by night. But the thing is, the problem with that is
takes it into the bathroom for his 30-minute bathroom break, in between sales.
Hopefully it has good battery life because that's a long time.
You can charge it, while he's,
gotta get those chargers in there so you can have both a bidet and also this. Oh my God. That's a whole other subject. So yeah, at the end of the day, I actually don't think it's a bad design. Okay. I think it's a bad design. I think it's an interesting device. Like I said, maybe I'd get it, maybe not. I don't know. It's cool that it has a trackpad on it. It's cool that it's detachable. I want to see detachable be the new thing. Like that's the thing that every device can be detachable. And if we could get down on some like,
do you know, does Nintendo have a patent or anything on?
They probably have some type of weird patent. I guarantee it. Nintendo and Apple patent literally everything they can. But so maybe this. I don't think this is going to. They would have definitely checked on this if it was interfering or inferring on some patents. So. Yeah, it's got the. I don't know if it's usable on their own unless you plug it into like a middle device. That's like the Alienware UFO. I think was the concept with that. And then also One X Player 2 is detachable, which is another cool thing. I want to see more of this, and I wanted to see like a more universal maybe pattern so that we could get a lot more accessories.
I will say this, it does seem sort of like the Switch Joy-Cons, and maybe these are just little metal like things that are supposed to connect, but are those lights or little metal like prongs?
Right here?
Yeah.
I think that's the Switch kind of has those too. So
yeah,
talking about like, yeah, the connectors where when you connect it into the device, it's the contacts that allow for the electrical signals, like the signals to go through. It's also got a scroll piece right here.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So I think you can scroll websites and all that. So it's a multifunctional. It's got the touch screen, pad. So you have your mouse, and then it's got some weird stuff at the bottom that is like FPS mode switch where you can switch it. I think it's just a boost mode, meaning it's going to allow the fan to go higher so you can get more FPS potentially.
Okay.
But then it's got a mouse sensor at the bottom, which I'm like, do you drag it across like in a really weird way? I don't understand the mouse sensor.
Weird.
It's like an optical sensor. So it will be interesting to see where they're going with this.
I do like you were saying, I do like the idea of having another handheld with removable controls. Just because, like, admittedly the Switch is small. Even for me, it's small. It's like it's a nice compact device, but like the Joy-Cons are not great. I've never loved the Joy-Cons, both when they're attached and when they're, but the nice thing is that there are a lot of third-party sellers who will make and sell larger Joy-Cons. So
which I have.
Which you do have.
And I like it a lot.
It's really nice because you can kind of customize the fit, the grip.
Yep.
And that is something I wish was a little different with the Steam Deck, is that I'd love to see like a customizable like grip on it, because I've talked about this where my hands get tired of holding the Steam Deck after a while. For me personally, it's heavy, it's big. I have tiny little beba hands with sausage fingers, and
that's a reference.
But anyways, the point is that it just, after a while, it's not comfortable for me to play the Steam Deck for long periods of time. And so I love the idea that you could switch out potential sizes, and they have the potential. I don't know what's going to go into this device, but they do have the potential of like a really good marketing thing of like, hey, we sell different, things at different sizes. I
will say, okay, I agree with the Steam Deck. Like, it's perfect size for my hands, but yeah, for yours, I could definitely see it being just a little too small. You must have like Linus sized hands, because I know it was a little small for him. And with with this though, I bet you it's going to be about the right size for you. I bet you the main reason they're doing the detachable is because then you can use it in a device that connects them like the Switch, and then you don't have to hook up another controller when you're playing it hooked up to the TV,
that's another
which is
thing.
Honestly, probably the reason why they're doing it. It's great, and while I carry around my PS5 controller for my Steam Deck when I do docked mode, it would be nice to not have to do that, especially when traveling, right? So I could bring my Steam Deck, not have to worry about taking a controller.
With the Switch, it's just this little extra piece that you clip them into, and then they do what they need to, and it's not as bulky as a controller.
It's also got a kickstand, and it's not like a flimsy kickstand. It's like it's a hefty, like full width kickstand, and it's looking good. It's definitely a one that I will see once again if I pick this up. But I like the direction. I like that it's different. Whereas Ion Neo, and I feel like Ion Neo and a couple of companies, just like Ion Neo, I guess, are the two that are just always releasing something that is very samey. And even with Ion Neo, like they don't differ too much or add too much more. With the newest one being the Kun, that one is honestly surprisingly good looking, and like in the sense it has a lot of features,
right? But
it's going to be like $1,500. This device, I'm going to do some guessing. I don't know if you care about the specs as much as I do, but hear me out. You fine with this?
Yes.
You fine with this?
You have my blessing.
Continue, okay, I have been blessed, so I'm going to get this right. My luck is up. Let's go. So this thing is going to be an 8-inch screen, which I think that's already confirmed. It's going to have the AMD's Extreme Z1 whatever chip, a Z1 Extreme, which is similar to it's what's in the ROG Ally. It's going to have that. It's going to have 16 gigs of RAM. It's going to have we already know it's going to have two USB 4.0 drives. And it's going to, there's one more piece to this that's important, but like it's I think it's going to be beefy. It's going to be the ROG Ally, essentially. ROG, Ally. I always mess that up, so I have to double check myself on that before I wreck myself. So, yeah, no, it's going to be very standard, I think, across the board with a lot of other devices, except for it has input.
To me, it's very interesting. It'll be interesting to see where this ends up in the next 5 years. Just handheld devices.
Sure. This is the age of handhelds. I think we're going to see a lot of cool improvements. I think it'll slow down after about 10 years, or we'll see a huge change of the iPhone, like in Futurama, where it's injected into your eye.
Oh my.
So yeah,
but yeah, it's gonna be it's interesting how this is just all sort of exploded in the last 2-3 years.
Oh yeah,
and now everybody has a device that they're coming out
handhelds galore. Yeah. If you have hands, they have devices. They just have way more devices than you have hands. It's unfortunate. So next up on this is the PlayStation Portal handheld. We just got additional information. You can go watch my stream on Games Revealed, where I watched the whole video, reacted kind of to it. This is a cool device. It's also a little impractical for most people, but it is really cool. It's also very much hated by certain communities. I think probably with our Games Revealed community, it's going to be a 50-50. I think some people are going to be they're fine with it, and other people are just going to hate it.
Okay.
I'm personally of the let's hear what you got to say. What do you think of this device?
Okay, first impressions before I ask exactly
what it is.
Yeah.
Well, it's a portable gaming device.
Yes, and I kind of figured as much, but I mean, really, it's like they cut a PlayStation controller in half and sandwiched a screen in the middle.
Yep.
And so design wise,
it's unique.
It's unique. I don't love it personally, but at the same time, it is very PlayStation. At the same time, I look at it and I'm like, oh, that, that's PlayStation. I mean, granted, it's got a big PlayStation logo on it, so I can't think of anything else, but but still, so then comes in what makes this different than something else.
So this beauty right here, this majestic device, is only playable with your PS5 when both devices are on a Wi-Fi. You can do it from a distance, meaning you can go anywhere in the world and play this thing as long as you have internet connectivity, a good internet, let's mind you, and it's on Wi-Fi or connected to the internet.
Okay.
They say Wi-Fi, but I'm like, what else? I mean, I guess you could do 4G, 5G on the go, but maybe latency might get you. But it's doesn't play anything natively on it.
Okay, so it just connects directly to your main PlayStation 5 device.
Yes. Right. I only emphasize that because I don't think it works with the PS4.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
so
okay.
Yeah, only on the 5, and it only remote plays. You know how I don't think you remote played as much, but you've watched me remote play a couple of games, and that's pretty much what this does. And instead of having a phone, I can use the PlayStation portal. I always want to say portable, to play games throughout the house, like I do with the Steam Deck. Right. Sometimes I even stream my computer to the Steam Deck. I always forget, and I just end up playing on the Steam Deck natively.
You did a lot of what's the word you just used?
Streaming.
Not streaming, but when you
being lazy.
No. When you play it somewhere, when you're playing it somewhere else, and it's
remote playing.
Remote play.
Yeah, so this is a remote play device.
Went right out my brain. I could not hold on to that. So you did that a lot. I feel like with Horizon Zero Dawn.
Horizon Zero Dawn, I did it probably for about half the game, and then I also did it for that. I always forget. It's that choose your own adventure horror game.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about, but I don't.
I love that game. It was really good. So
Excuse me.
we both got the coughs. We're gonna get sick. It's the Rona.
No, it's called kids are freaking breeding grounds of bacteria and disease. And
guess what? School started.
I know.
It's disease season.
It's inevitable.
You're gonna see us eating a chicken noodle soup the next time we do this podcast.
You know, chugging down the orange juice, the vitamin C.
I don't know if vitamin or any of those help that much.
No, vitamin C does, but you know, you want to pair it with like magnesium, zinc, vitamin D. You know,
a healing naturalist, you know, that will, you know,
some oils and some crystals,
essential oils, healing person that can like throw a bunch of sage on you. Yes, that's a
little bit of Reiki,
maybe some thyme, maybe some rosemary. It's all sounding really tasty now. I'm gonna make a good roast.
Are we going to be Thanksgiving dinner at Jeffrey Dahmer's house?
I would make a good Thanksgiving dinner. I would make a good dinner for anyone that wants to eat me, but please don't eat me. Okay, so speaking of eating things, you could eat off this thing. It's a plate. It's so flat. It's in some ways, but it's it's weird.
So knowing what it is now,
so let me. So we're gonna do. Let's figure this out because this is kind of a new thing that we're doing with this podcast, and let us know in the comments, or you can also let us know through if you go to the Spotify or the link or whatever, I think we'll have somewhere in the description of wherever you're listening to this, you should be able to leave messages that we could also respond to on the podcast. So if you ever have questions for us, go there and ask. Now back to our normally scheduled program. This device, it's, I believe, an 8-inch screen.
Okay.
It's got all the capabilities of PS5.
Okay.
The touch portion, which is in the middle of a PS5, which we have a PS5 controller right here, if I can get it out, right there. This right here is on the screen itself.
Okay.
And so everything else works. It vibrates. It does a really good job. I've watched a video on it. It sounds great. Now.
So is the screen like it has like touch capabilities?
Yes, it's got touch capabilities.
Okay.
Sneak peek. Okay, so not sneak peek, but like a little under the hood. I believe it's Android, which most devices like this are Android. So it's a flavor of Android. So it's probably going to be hackable. It'll be interesting to see how powerful this is. It's got to be, they don't want to cheap out too much because streaming still does require like good encoding hardware to encode it from the PlayStation and decode it here or whatever they're going to do, like stream it. So with this 8-inch, it's $200. It does really well. My favorite feature actually of this, and it's a seller for me, meaning like there's a chance I might pick this up in the future, is the same thing with the Steam Deck. It can resume and sleep the PlayStation 5 almost instantly. When you hit the power button, and once it's all synced up and everything, it will turn on the PlayStation 5 and you can start. It would be like if you were just going to pick up the PlayStation 5 controller and start playing. Okay. That is a killer feature for me.
That's pretty cool. I'm not going to lie.
Anytime I can get playing my games and put them to sleep because we have kids, whatever it is, like life's busy, amazing feature for me.
100%.
And if I can sneak away into the closet and play some more games, it's another great feature because then, I can get more stuff done. Right. Now, the killer for this thing is, and we're going to wait for your decision here in a second. Okay. The killer, though, the thing that really doesn't makes me hesitant, because if this worked, then I'd probably do a buy for me. Bluetooth is not included. You have to use their native hookup. So they have.
Are they doing the Apple thing?
Apple doesn't do it technically, but Apple does their own unique lightning port kind of thing. They're kind of doing something like that here. There's no reason why it can't have Bluetooth. I honestly think they're doing it so that they sell their own proprietary system. So they have a proprietary link for this, like PlayStation Link or something along those lines. That they have earbuds and they have headphones that will hook up for it.
Okay.
I don't do that. Honestly, what I'd probably, if I bought this, I wouldn't probably use headphones with it. I just use the audio. And so hopefully the speakers are good. But it doesn't have Bluetooth, which is, I think, a big deal. And I think they're really making a mistake there.
Yes. I am not a fan of that. I get it. I don't know if the exclusivity like in the Apple model. Like, yes, you compare like other things, but Apple tries to make it as hard as possible, I feel like, to use any other device with their stuff. And again, I don't know if the exclusivity, I mean, obviously they're $1 billion company, so they're doing fine. But I just feel like, I don't know. For me, it just, I don't know. It seems backwards, but I'm not a business person, so it's just my layman take on it.
I think it's going to hurt their sales personally.
Yeah. So, well, and I mean, to be fair though, like, it is a branch of Sony, and Sony is like, they do tech stuff like headphones. So
yes, they do tech stuff. Okay, so we're about to get to it because I'm going to talk about, I think, predictions on how this will sell. We're going to see if you're going to buy it. We'll see if I buy it. I think that's about it for the specs. For like, beyond that, we don't know like what type of processor and all that it's going to be on this thing.
It's going to be $200.
It's going to be $200.
How much is the PS5 currently?
500, I think.
Okay.
I think it's about $499. I could be wrong on that. People could.
I think there's a
digital version that's 400, but yeah. So, would you buy this? Is this something you'd buy or wait for a sell, or just a no-go for you?
For me personally, I wouldn't buy it. I'm not the biggest, like, I like PlayStation. I like a lot of games on the PlayStation.
Big Planet, or it's not Little Big Planet. What is it now?
Well, Sackboy. There we go. Hi.
You almost sacked his name. Almost forgot it.
Right? It's late. I'm tired. I don't remember things.
We're recording this at 3:00 in the morning when kids are asleep.
Yes, exactly. No, so for me, I think, okay, if you are like a PlayStation diehard, this is makes sense. I think it's also like, this would be like a good Christmas gift if you don't know what to get your significant other or your uncle or your brother or whomever, but you know that they game and they own a PlayStation, like a PS5. This would be a cool add-on, but it is a little, to me, like, if you think about spending $400 on the PlayStation as it is, $400 or $500, however much.
Yeah, digital's $400,
and then you're adding $200 with this device, and then you have to add on however more like compatible headphones.
If you want headphones, which to be fair, I would probably not rock the headphones with this.
Yeah,
especially
I don't know.
Starting out. I wouldn't mind. I think the headphones look nice. I think it's a possibility down the road, depending on how much I cover this. But it's a lot of money.
Yeah,
would you get it? No,
not for me personally. No.
Yeah, I could totally see that. Me, I will get this when it goes on sale, because it probably will go on sale at like $50 off eventually. That's probably when I'm going to do it. Or if I really feel like it's going to be helpful for the channel, maybe. But I'm not doing as much of this. I don't do this type of stuff typically as much, but I do like doing hardware and dabbling. So I don't know. Never know, guys. Never know with me. Really don't. But I do think that there's going to be
loose cannon.
I think there's going to be a hardcore group of PlayStation users that will buy this. Okay. If you're a hardcore PlayStation fan, I think there's like a good, and you have at least some disposable income, guaranteed that they're going to probably buy this. There's not a lot going on besides VR for the PlayStation as of right now, in the sense of like, I don't know. I just don't think there's a lot of exciting things going on for the next year. Correct me if I'm wrong. So this might be something to just, if you do play a lot of PlayStation, that this might be kind of exciting for you.
Yeah.
I think it won't fail. They failed greatly at the possibilities of doing a PlayStation Vita 2 or something along those lines, where it's a dedicated device that would allow you to play your games on the go. And PlayStation 4, let's just say it's a PlayStation 4 on the go, and it supported all PlayStation 4 and younger games, I guess.
Right.
No, older games. Younger's not right.
Yeah.
Older.
I got what you were.
I know ages. Don't worry. I ID when I don't know what I do, but when I go and let people buy alcohol from me. I don't know where I was going to go with this. So
keep digging that hole, Brink.
I'm digging the hole deeper. So I can't. You're so cruel. So cruel mistress. Yeah. So this will do okay.
Yeah.
If it was a dedicated device, I think it'd do better. And that's what sucks. Switch, and we were just getting into the realm of like games being really good on the go, and they gave up with the Vita. And I think they brought us into that partially. Like Sony did a lot of handheld stuff. Nintendo did too.
Yeah.
Nintendo stuck around and has great success with the Switch, right? But I do think it's a miss. I think they're going to make okay money off this. I think they could have made drastically more money if they would have done a Vita style. Or even if they would have included some type of 4G, 5G kind of plan and allowed for cloud-based gaming. So if you have the PlayStation Plus service or PlayStation Now, whatever it's called now, and you could play your games in the cloud.
Right.
I think this would sell hotcakes also.
Yeah.
So let's just put this into numbers. This will, I'm not even going to guess, but I think this is going to sell about 10% what it could have. If it would have done the online cloud service, I think it would have sold about 40%. And then, the 100% would have been if it would have been Vita. So I really think it's really lacking its potential, but still has got me interested. And there's a chance that I might pick it up one day. I think it will probably go on sale if they don't sell enough, but produce enough. So that's my take on it. And I don't know if
I think it's fair.
Yeah, it's a fair, it's awesome device. And at the same time, not. Like it's an awesome device I like new tech. I like stuff. I like this. I know that's going to be a hot take for a lot of people. People aren't going to like that. But I do think this has a place. It's just its potential it has so much potential to do more and be better.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a fun accessory, really.
Okay.
That's kind of it.
Okay.
There you go.
I agree. I'm not trying. I'm really excited for this next one. It's gossip time. We're in the gossip corner.
Okay.
This is like, you think the Kardashians and all these other groups have amazing gossip and have the drama. No, the drama is truly in game development. And just let alone Baldur's Gate 3 came out, and that was drama based in sense. Well, kind of. I think it was revved up a little bit by just maybe content creators or something.
Yeah.
Where I think it was another studio or something was like, this is an unrealistic expectation for RPGs, for the PC, for gaming and all that. Baldur's Gate 3, this is going to make it so that's going to be harder. Well, it's like, you want to raise that bar. The problem is that it does cost money. And sometimes some games are hard to make. People don't realize that. So the big drama, you could just the drum roll. It's so spicy. What do you think of this menu? And I'll get why.
I would say
it's the Starfield menu, as she's thinking.
Yes.
It's the Starfield menu, and some of you are going to realize what is going to happen. And she's just looking at this kind of semi-plain Starfield menu. Nothing too exciting about it.
Yeah, it's plain. I think it's very void. There's. I mean,
a lot of startup screens, a lot of Bethesda games tend to have a little bit of like plainer, which is, I do like an exciting main menu, but at the same time,
if I wasn't looking for the main menu like selection, I would miss it almost because
over here.
Yeah. Oh. Like, because
you're
so
just gonna be like
small.
over in the eclipse area. You're like, I can't see it in the sun. It's just so blinding.
No, but I mean, just like it comparatively, it's just kind of thrown on there, and it's very small. It's on the left hand side, and it's very much not.
It's just
I mean, okay, I wouldn't lose it or not know that it was there, but
so we've overanalyzed it at this time. But would you think this is a bad game because of this?
Okay, going into it not knowing anything, it would raise questions.
Yeah, it would raise. Okay, so you get there and you're like, is this gonna be a bad game or is it gonna be a good game?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go into the Twitter storm now. So Grums, who I believe does game development or is a manager or does something over somewhere else. The start screen of a game can reveal a lot about how rushed the team was and how much pride they took in their work. Starfield's start screen either shows hasty shipping deadlines by a passionate team overworked or a team that didn't care. This is what they said.
That's not hopeful, especially for people that are really excited about it.
Yeah, I'm really excited. But hold up. So do you believe them?
They're like a developer.
They are.
Kind of.
I'm going to disprove this whole thing. I have a whole spiel for this.
I mean, there's a part of it that feels very cynical and very like
it's very judgmental. It's very weird.
I mean, their name is Grums. It makes me think they're grumps.
They're probably grumpsies.
Yeah.
So in response, Jason, hey, DC Deacon, next time you and the lovely folks over at BGS, I believe this is in response to something else to this. BGS, instead of rushing to make a game with many systems, factions, choices, and ways to play, I would urge you to only focus on the title screen so you guys won't appear to be hasty or simply didn't care. And then Pete Hines, or they designed what they wanted, and that's been our menu for years and was one of the first things we settled on. Having an opinion is one thing. Questioning out a developer's care because you would have done it differently is highly unprofessional coming from another dev. 100%. Here's my hot take on this. It's not really a hot take. Here's the thing. Okay, first up, oftentimes 2D elements and menus and stuff like that are designed by a specific person or team. So the team that's building out the audio, building out the actual other portions of the game, separate. Doesn't even matter. So we're going to scratch that on the whole, oh, this is going to affect the quality of Starfield in the sense of, oh, you're going to have things falling through the floor, which it's a Bethesda game. I'd be surprised, but I'm hearing it doesn't have a lot of bugs, but that's what I've heard. I've heard that from other gamers before when they've tested stuff before and it had bugs. So completely different teams typically. And or if they do it simple in the beginning, that's fine, and then they can complicate it or make it, more polished later down the road. I would rather have a simple menu, startup screen, all that stuff, and have the rest of the game worked on. In fact, give me just the best game possible if it means just less hours on the main menu. That being said, like I said, there are different teams that do this. There are 2D artists. There are menu oftentimes, especially if it's Starfield, there might even have like maybe a person or two that kind of deals with the in-game menus and the menu right here. It's probably what happens. So what would you want them to be designing? The in-game? And they're going for simplicity. Starfield is a very, it's a minimalistic style. They try to do that as a futuristic minimalistic style. It's kind of what they're going for anyways with the UI. So this tracks. It's very weird that game developers are calling people out for this type of stuff. It's
right.
Bizarre.
Well, that was something I was going to say as well, is that while, yes, this admittedly, like, it feels void. There's not a lot going on with this menu. However, for me, I kind of felt like another answer to that would be like, it may just tell you something about the game.
Yeah. Or maybe
like,
they'll
it
add more.
It doesn't have to be super complicated,
So I'm about to show her what the Skyrim menu looks like. Oh, geez. It is.
I can see it.
Essentially this right here.
Yeah. And that's, again,
it's about the same thing.
Yeah.
Very simple. Has Skyrim updates in the top right. It's got the menu on the I think some of the menus are a little different, but this one has the options on the right. It's got a little dragon emblem, smoke rising up.
Right.
And then the Bethesda logo. A lot of their games are kind of like this. They're not complicated. They go with simplicity. Okay. That's just how they've kind of done it. So when you look at this,
then after seeing that, then this.
In fact, this one looks a little better.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So at the end of the day, though, don't care about your menu screens as much as the actual game. That's the most important thing. And can you navigate the menu? Obviously, and do they have good settings? There's a lot that goes into it, but like, Bethesda's never been known for amazing menus. Like their earlier games were very lacking, even at times, how their menus worked.
It's just,
and
some people just get joy in life of feeling like they can one up on people, and
yeah,
honestly, at that point, it's a personal issue versus like anything else.
One of the things that I don't like about development. So I'm an engineer, software engineer, and also do game development. I'm not in the game industry quite yet with that. I mean, I'm making my first game, but there's a lot of arrogant people out there that take pride in like kind of gatekeeping or being very like, I just know all this stuff. I'm going to say this is garbage or whatever. And sometimes they just don't think through it. Who knows? Neurodivergent person potentially. But this has got 9.1 million views.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. So, and I bet most people are like probably hounding. Yeah.
To be fair, like Starfield is one of the most anticipated games of 2023. So a lot of people are going to be invested in this. And I think people are worried because they have an emotional investment in this coming out.
Well,
whether or not that's going to...
Not everyone does. PlayStation, we just talked about the PlayStation Portal. It can't play this. Because it's not going to be on PlayStation. I'm sorry, but it's going to be on PC and Xbox, so that's not like PC. I'm a PC bro, so
but just basically, people have an emotional stock in it and a financial stock in it, because they've pre-ordered or whatever. So they're gonna be in, like, is it gonna be good? And it's like, give it time. Just wait. Be patient.
I know.
Take a breath. Do what I do with my kids. Tell me what your candle smells like and blow it out. Take a deep breath. Blow out.
Mine smells like pumpkin spice, pumpkin pie or whatever. Okay, I'm calm now. I'm not excited. I'm not anything like. I think the game is going to be okay. That's how calm you've got me. No, it's going to be a good game. And honestly, we don't need to kick this any further. I just think it's silly that people are this judgmental of something that obviously I just don't know. Like, how good of a developer are you if you're doing this type of take? Like, if you're saying this type of thing, like, I don't know, because like I just mentioned, the menu screen is not that important.
No.
And it's usually the thing that matters the least, typically, as long as you can load it to the game from it. So I would prefer them to spend all their time on the game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. History wise, like, it kind of shows that like maybe
this looks very par for the course if you look at Skyrim. I mean, my only critique, if I had to compare it to the Skyrim one, is I kind of wish like the menu thing was a little more cohesive with the overall like picture, where it feels very blocked.
It's such a like standard sci-fi kind of UI. Yeah. It's kind of honestly boring. That part's boring. I wish they would have done it a little differently, but
that's the only thing. Like now, because like the Skyrim one was more matchy with the rest of the aesthetic.
Yes,
that's there. I'm done.
That has one of my problems actually with Starfield. I'm going to say it right now. It's a little too minimalistic. They did this weird, like, I'm like, I want mine to be like rough sci-fi. And it is kind of a little bit of a rough sci-fi. They call it a NASA punk is what they're calling this. So it has a little bit of that little punk to it, but it's a little bit too, I don't know. We'll see. I'll save my final judgments for once we actually get there. But that is the drama of this going on right now. There's always drama, Baldur's Gate, like I said, but yeah. So I think most people probably agree with our take though. I think most people are like, oh, this is fine. I don't know what you're talking about, but I just want to dive into like the professional side of things. And like, no, this is not quite how it works.
Yeah.
There's teams and other things that are segmented out, that just because they didn't spend more time or not spend enough time on the menu, those bugs are still going to be fixed by a different team. So I do want to ask though, she's not done with it yet, but if you're a member of it's not the Patreon. Maybe I'll throw some up on the Patreon, but the Patreon's I'm not really promoting it yet, but you can always go there and become a patron at patreon.com/Games Revealed. But if you're a member of the YouTube channel, Games Revealed, you get access to Dead Space playthroughs from Suzie, and they're so good. How is Dead Space going for you?
It's good. You know, the game makes me feel stupid every time I play it because I'm just like, what do I do? It also doesn't help that I have long breaks in between each playthrough. So every time I go in and play, I forget that I have certain abilities or that certain things work the way that they work in that game. So every time I go in, I'm like, I'm the dumbest person in the world that I can't make this work.
Do you go into it and you're like, oh, this is a shooter? Wait a second. Oh, is this a gun?
No.
Is that a zombie thingy over there? They're not zombies.
Oh my gosh. What is this? This thing goes pew pew, right?
Pew pew. Vroom vroom. So yeah, that's
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Also, I go into it being very like, I get really freaked out in the beginning
when you start playing.
When I start playing, and then I kind of mellow out to where I'm like, desensitized. I'm so done with lizard, walrus, mantis things coming out of the vents and demons.
Walrus? I don't know if there's anything too chunky to be a walrus.
It's like the thing with tails, and it's got the like saber tooth.
I know,
like,
it's tusks. like a saber tooth manta ray.
Yeah, I call it a walrus, tadpole, whatever it is. And then you have like the spawn of Satan demon babies.
I don't know where you're getting walrus from.
And okay, maybe it's not walrus.
That's a walrus.
But
it's got the tusks.
But it's got the tusks and a freaking like
I'm gonna call it the elephant now. It's got tusks.
Oh gosh.
So the bizarrely named creatures in this game. No, you're good. It's really fun to watch her play it, but that's why I'm asking you, so you can give us a little sneak peek of like how like you're not typically a horror game person, and this is one of my favorite franchises. Like Dead Space, Half-Life, a couple other games are up there in my top like 5-10, and it is definitely one of them. But
yeah, I'm very so. And I've mentioned this in the videos that like you've talked about multiple different like space genre, sci-fi genre games over the years. So, you know, Mass Effect, Dead Space, you know, a handful of others. And they've sort of blended together as to what's what. Mm-hmm. And so for me, it's fun to go through and kind of unpack it with things being a little fuzzy. Mm-hmm. Because the moment I was like, oh, this is the one with the word religion and stuff like that, I was like, okay, but I don't remember other than like unitology and that he's looking for
nothing like Scientology in any way possible.
No,
okay.
They just sound similar.
I just don't want to be sued. Don't go after me. I don't need Tom Cruise coming in one of his stunts and just murking me with his bike. Okay, continue.
You know, and that he's trying to find his wife. Mm-hmm. And so that, like, I remember that, but I don't remember all the ins and outs of it. So I'm very intrigued, and they're doing an excellent job in the game of not giving you everything up front.
Oh, it's so good.
And so it's very much like, well, what's going on? Like, why are people turning into mutants and, you know, being all, you know,
meat puppets
and hey, I'm gonna go crazy and, you know, do a lot of self-mutilation, you know.
Yeah, we want to be a little careful on that, but yeah, it's doing stuff that's not good. Yeah. Let's just say that. Without saying certain words that YouTube doesn't like and other platforms might not like, but yes, it's
very
it's a little disturbing, but it's so like
it's
you want to keep on going, you want to keep on shooting all the baddies. You don't want those creatures. It's like a cockroach. If you find a cockroach in your house, you don't want it to live. I'm on the ship. This is my ship now. I don't want these cockroaches to live. I'm an exterminator. I'm an exterminator.
Oh, dude, and the sound design on this game is like
they did an amazing job with the sound.
It gets me all the time. I'm just like, this last playthrough, I was about ready to scream. The freaking PA system with somebody like whisper over it. I'm like, God, stop it! And everything sounds squishy and gushy and
ooey gooey, kind of like a cinnamon roll, but forbidden. A forbidden cinnamon roll.
That is not a Cinnabon. I want to.
No, it's not me either.
Venture to
personally. I mean, I've never tried licking the screen or doing anything to Okay,
Yeah, no
so
thanks.
enough of my. I kind of want a cinnamon bun right now, so maybe that's why I'm talking about this. So
I do too. Now that we mention it,
Yeah.
just so long as it doesn't come with alien zombies, we're
never
good.
know. You never know. Aliens exist now. They could be impregnating our cinnamon rolls. Who knows? So, besides the point, impregnated cinnamon rolls could probably be a good T-shirt, honestly. Like a little alien creature coming out of the top,
my lord,
and just have a little bit of frosting on his lip. Little frosting stush. It'd be the most adorable alien. It'd be from Alien, the movie. Yeah. Like that thing that bursts out of people, but it'd be bursting out of a little cinnamon roll. Okay. Note to everyone: would you like a T-shirt like that? Let us know in somewhere. Okay, so Distractables, but that's already taken, so we can't do that. Podcast name. Yeah. So the sound design.
Yes,
I watched a lot of this. Obviously, I'm a huge fan. Weirdly so, and maybe somewhat creepy, but the sound design will echo. The way they did it is that if it's down the hallway, but there's turns, it will echo and reverb in such a way that it would be like in real life, because that does happen. So if you're down like a hallway that has turns and stuff, the way the sound will echo off the walls and stuff will be different, and it will change.
Okay.
They did a good job of that.
They did. They really did. It's honestly, it throws me off so much. Like, I think it was my second playthrough. Like, I get in and all of a sudden I hear like babies coughing, and I'm just like.
So Dead Space, amazing game. I love it. I'm glad that you pointed out the sound design. The sound design is awesome. It's where would you like? You want to keep on playing it, right?
Yes.
And she's been having a fun time replaying it and recording it for the members. And it's she's very animated through it. It's really good. She's better Let's Player than I am for sure. And so one day maybe you'll play something streamed. But what is the part that you find the most fascinating? Like that you want to keep on going and playing with this? I'm kind of curious. Like what keeps you going?
I think for me, it really is like I want to find out what's going on. Like, it's very hard for me not to go look at answers online in between my playthroughs, because I'm so curious about why. Because as far as I understand at this point, they're going to go colonize some new world. They have this religion of unitology that believes something. They haven't really delved into like the belief system or whatever, but then like they unearth like some stone or some relic type thing, and all of a sudden like people start like going crazy, and like stuff starts happening on the planet that they're on, but then that translates over onto the ship. Yep. And then when Isaac gets there,
you're really involved in the story, actually pretty good. I think the first time I played this, I missed some of these details, but continue.
And then Isaac, and it could just be that it's like in the like dark recesses of my subconscious because you've talked about it, but
potentially.
But by the time Isaac gets there, the ship's basically gone. Everybody's dead or on their way to being.
Are they dead? If your if your body morphs into something else, but your cells are still there, it's still part of you's there, are you truly dead if you're still moving around?
Yeah. Well, they're either dead or they're weird mutant things from the Hunger Games. So
they're thirsty and hungry.
Yeah. But yeah, and then you kind of have to unravel it, and his wife was on the ship at some point.
I'm not going to ruin anything. I can't wait for you to finish the game.
In
a couple of years.
Yeah, a couple of years. I know. Honestly, like if I just committed to like 2 hours every week, I could
2 hours, or maybe one of these weekends you'll just play through it and get it done with.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun. So, anything else you want to say on that?
No, it's good. I'm excited to unravel it. Again, the game makes me feel very dumb because again, I forget like that I have different abilities, or
because you don't. The problem is you're just not playing it enough. Yeah, so that's more on maybe me, making sure that you have time.
What does my candle smell like?
Pumpkin pie, and I love it. So we're going to wrap this up. we have other things we're going to be talking about in the bonus level. If you guys have a membership or the Patreon, you can go and unlock additional levels, additional things. Every episode, except for the first episode, which we'll have to figure out how to fix that, has a bonus level. That one's going to be hidden for now, meaning it doesn't exist, but we'll eventually make an episode 1 bonus level, which seems bizarre, but we'll figure something out there. So you can see us on over there. You can also like, subscribe, bash that bell with your crowbar if you're on YouTube. If you are on Spotify or Apple, make sure to say share it, to leave a rating, preferably a good rating. Thank you. It really helps if you want to see more of this and to see more people. Well, Susie's going to be one of the main people on this, so don't worry. She's a co-host.
I'll be around.
But we're going to continue to have guests. I had a lot of guests all at once, so that's one of the reasons why you saw so many guests. But I'm trying to do about 1 guest a week and then 1 normal episode where it's me and Susie, or maybe Cascoder or someone else that's a co-host. You'll see them. It just all depends. Mainly though, the 2 people you'll probably see the most is going to be me and Susie, as it's easy for us to record and it's really fun. It's therapy for us, I guess. Not couples therapy. It's individual therapy because we play a lot of horror games.
You play a lot of horror games.
You playing just 1 horror game probably needs therapy.
I probably need therapy after 1 horror game. Yes.
When you're starting to look at the
my idea of horror is Disneyland at Halloween time.
True.
That's my.
I have noticed you like eyeing over the vents lately, and you're like, "Is that a walrus I hear?" You're like, no, that's just Loki, our dog. He's hungry. It's his stomach. It's a loud corgi stomach.
He's a pudgy dragon.
He's not pudgy. He's just big boned, like a rotisserie chicken. It's I'm just word vomiting today, but no, he's not fat. He's getting a little chunkier though because the kids like to feed him. But
I know.
Okay.
With all that being said,
you can
say goodnight.
No. Also go like us on follow us on Twitter, on Zitter, and then also Instagram. I'm gonna die. And then TikTok. We have some TikTok stuff over there. We have little fun shorts and stuff we can create from all this stuff. And so yeah, follow us. With that, let's bid goodbye.
Adieu.
Bid adieu. Goodbye. Farewell.
So long. Auf Wiedersehen.
Yes, exactly. We're on the same page now. We're vibing now after the great big crash of the hippo through the ceiling, the battle hippo. So yeah, you're gonna catch us over on the bonus level. If not, we'll see you guys next time. So peace out.
Bye.
Later, guys.
Congrats. Secret level unlocked. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter to curb that craving for more. If you like this episode, then make sure to leave a like, rating, follow, or whatever the platform has. Also, make sure to check out our merch at shop.gamesrevealed.com or shopundead.com. Peace.